Well, Thread, would you like to join me for the wedding? No? Very well. I'll see you as soon as all this wedding business is over, and then I'll be back and we continue our little trek into history. Meanwhile, I need to head over to Minas Tirith. Oh my, they've prettied up this place since I was last here. The crafters were quite busy getting this place back together. And it looks like it is all nice and ready for a festival. Now, let's see if I could find the king and tell him that I have arrived. I suppose he'll be at the throne room way at the top. The throne room is also quite grand. All the flags of the various towns and cities of Gondor. Hello, sir.
I'm pleased you could return to my city in time of peace.
Fine leaf, my friend. I'm pleased you could return to my city in time of peace, when war safely behind us. We cannot lower our guard over much, it is true, but Mithrandir and the Council of Gondor both assure me that the threat of further war is at a low ebb. For now. My mind therefore turns from martial matters to those of the heart, for a day long prepared is nearly upon us. As you well know, Arwen, my betrothed, travels even now to Minas Tirith, where we shall be wedded before all of Gondor, and she will be the queen of my kingdom. Long have we waited for this day. It is very important to me and to my love that the ceremony be conducted properly, but my knowledge of such matters is not sufficient. Mithrandir insists that he has an understanding of the rituals, but some members of the council question the depth of his knowledge concerning the customs of Gondor. The council therefore selected a number of Gondorian representatives to decorate the city and make it ready for the ceremony. The woman responsible for the wedding ceremony is named Rodwin, and I would ask you to lend her your able assistance, if you have the time or the inclination. Arwen will be here soon, and her household, and I want all the preparations to be made before she arrives. Well, I will speak with Rodwin. And here is Rodwin right here at... She looked very familiar.
I see. We have things well in hand.
Yes, they're quite well in hand here. Let us meet somewhere to discuss our preparations. Yes. There's no point in disturbing the king with such little details. Surely you must agree, right? Let us find a quiet spot to discuss them. If you leave the Tower of Exhelion and turn to the north, you'll see a doorway spanned with a garland of flowers. Slip past that garland and climb the stairs to the wall, and that is where I will meet you, all right? Okay, Rodwin, okay. Yes, she even sounds more familiar. Now let's find that doorway that Rodwin spoke of. Well, here is a door past the garland. Go past the garland. Well, that's something that's not obvious if you're not looking for it. Is this private enough for you?
Oh, you remember me, surely. Rodwin, champion of Gondor?
Oh, yes, now I remember. Yes. Yes. Well, we were near Parthgalen along the east wall of Rohan. My friends and I had gotten into a bit of trouble, and you helped us to get out of it. I was quite surprised to see you again in the throne room of the White City, in the presence of the king, no less. Well, what curious road took you out of the wilderness and gave you the responsibility for planning a wedding. Well, well, that I could tell you. Yes, the adventuring life was hard, and to be honest, with you, my friends, may not have been entirely prepared for it. Yes, the road we thought to take north was crawling with orcs, so we turned south and arrived outside the Pelennor fields just as the Gondorian forces returned from Mordor in triumph. Happy timing that was. We joined the celebration, of course, and decided that perhaps it was safer to put our adventuring days behind us. We no longer had a minstrel, you may remember. Quilian decided to try a life of farming rather than our dangerous course. Well, he has given it up already. Farming was not for him. So we all came to settle within the White City, and through a series of misunderstandings and ill-advised boasting, my friends and I caught the attention of the Council of Gondor. The next thing I know, Isteron was speaking before those noble lords and ladies, insisting that we are expert wedding planners all. So we have stumbled our way into something of a real adventure, Pineleaf. And you have to help us again. Oh. Oh. Novice planner of weddings.
What a relief it is to hear you will help us.
Yes, thank you. Every wedding should be perfect, of course, but the weight of responsibility for this particular wedding is even greater, for all eyes of the kingdom will be upon it. It means a great deal to me that you will not betray our secret. With your help, it should not matter that my friends and I know so little about such preparations. Already I have sent them throughout the city to get whatever help they can. Here, Pineleaf, I have penned some letters of introduction authorizing you to work on my behalf in all wedding-related matters. Bring these to our lore master Asteron, and he will tell you how best you can help him. You should find him outside the Tower of Ectelion in the Plaza of the Fountain. Alright, now let's go and find the lore master. He is going to have the glowing flowers, perhaps? Maybe. Let's see, where can we find one lore master? Oh, is that him up there? Hello, Easteron. Ah, you're here to help with planning the great wedding? There is so much still to be done, but I do not let that frighten you away. I have often found that the largest tasks are the most rewarding, just so long as you do not give up before you've begun. Yeah. Well, anyway, have you need any help in researching wedding customs? What? Oh no! I gave that up. Oh, Kufara and I did learn some interesting tidbits from a number of hobbits over there, but I did not find their advice very promising. Your hobbit traditions feel rather, shall we say it, rather quaint and not very appropriate for such a grand wedding that this must be. I mean no offense, of course. The hobbits are to the south of the Tower of Ectelion, I believe, if you wish to hear what they told me. Taking wedding advice from hobbits in Minas Tirith? Oh. Is that Frodo and Sam? Oh, hello there. How are things coming along? Hello there, Frodo.
How nice to see you during a time of celebration and not during a time of war.
Yes. Oh, well, anyway, I was helping Rodwin and her companions with the preparations for the wedding. Ah, yes, that's very good of you. Aragorn is dear to me, and I want his wedding to be all for to be all for which he and his bride might hope. Are Rodwin and her companions up to such a challenge? Really? I have spoken with a number of them now, and each of these planners, I admit to you, I have recognized something. They are over their heads, just as I was during the quest for the ring. Just as were we all. Well, that turned out to be all right in the end. So that so too might the wedding ceremony. If there is anything we can do, Pineleaf, let us know so that we may help. All right, I'm glad that you're willing to help. And what do you say, Sam?
There has been a lot of wedding chatter in the air, you know.
Yes, there's been a lot of wedding chatter, and I'll have you know it's not the easiest thing for this Gamgee to talk about. Take that Eastern fellow. He spoke on and on about how grand this wedding should be and how it'll be talked about for years and years. And maybe that's so. But I can't help to wonder if that's not the most important thing. Maybe I'm just a hobbit with hobbit ideas. But it seems to me that the wedding should be just as Arwen and Strider want it to be. Does it matter what the kingdom thinks of it, or for how long it's talked about? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Mr. Frodo and I weren't the only hobbits who spoke to the wedding planners. Merry and Pippin talked to them too, and when they finished, they went off laughing, looking very pleased with themselves about something. It might be worth looking into, Pineleaf. Those two are always causing trouble of some kind or another, and if you follow the smell of pipe smoke, could it be that you'll get to the bottom of it? Merry and Pippin. Oh, I'm sure that'll be useful advice. Now let's see. Where have those two gone off to? Pipe smoke seems to be coming from this way, and Merry and Pippin are the number 1 and 2 candidates for causing this. Look at that. Well, hello there. How are you two coming along?
Good day to you. Why don't you stay a while?
Yes, why don't you stay a while? Yes, now, what about this wedding? I heard that you were giving some advice on it. Oh, it's going to be a real sight to see, Pineleaf. It seems to us that those wedding planners might not have actually been to a real wedding before. And you know, Pip and I have all been to plenty of them. We're real experts on the subject, you might say. Yes, but wouldn't that be hobbit weddings? Well, yes. Anyway, so we gave Kufran a detailed account of the most important Shire wedding traditions. It was the right thing to do, wasn't it, Pip? How did that go again? Uh-huh.
Well, Mary, everyone knows that a Shire wedding, you've got to follow the traditions.
Yes, there are 4 elements that must be present if the ceremony is to be a success. The bride needs to carry or wear something old, right? Okay, yes, something old. That sounds about right. And then she should pair it with something new, which represents the new life she's starting with her husband. All right, something old and something new. That sounds reasonable. Yes, yes, of course it does. Yes, and then she needs something borrowed as well. Maybe a garment or cloth or small pocket item of some kind. And then most important of all, yes, everything has to be blue. What? Everything? I must have missed something somewhere. What? Something tells me that you changed it a little bit. Oh, yes, of course. Everything blue. All the decorations, everything. They've got to be blue. I better find Cooperon. At least there'll definitely be something blue. Oh boy. A great deal of blue. The decorations are indeed, as Merry and Pippin suggested, overwhelmingly blue.
Not everyone is as familiar with our hobbits as we are.
Yes, not everyone. Am I right to suggest that this must be the doing of a certain Brandybuck and Took of our acquaintance? I'm afraid it is, Legolas. I'm afraid it is. Well, Cooperon, hello again.
Those hobbits weren't really wedding experts at all, were they?
Well, unfortunately, while they might be wedding experts, possibly, they're also prankster experts. Well, not really experts at all. There's a lot that's going around these days. A lot of that. Yeah, I've heard.
Was any of the advice those hobbits gave to me truthful?
Well, that'd be good for the couple that are getting married, that they like that wedding, is very definitely good advice, I would say. Yes, I need to come up with a good use for those decorations. There has to be something, but now I have a more urgent worry. Was any of the advice those hobbits truthful? They spoke of someone called Gandalf, a wizard they claimed to be in the city, and said his fireworks cannot be missed. Is that true? Oh yes, Gandalf is indeed a master of the art, and I cannot see Gandalf as not coming to this wedding, though you may know him by the name of Mithrandir instead of Gandalf. Oh, Mithrandir! Oh yes, I know of this wizard, of course. Although I did not know that he dabbled in the destruction of fireworks, perhaps you can find him for me and ask if he would contribute some of his finest creations to set off during the wedding ceremony. I saw him recently in the circle of the city. Yes, in this circle. Look for him to the west. Alright, I'll head off west and see if I can find Mithrandir. Because we could always use a little wizard magic and fireworks in this. Ah! Like this. One white wizard. My fireworks. Ah, I'm sorry, Pineleaf, but you may remember that it was a time of war until very recently. When Shadowfax bore me hither with young Peregrine Took, I did not have the luxury to bring any fireworks with me. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry for disturbing you. Oh, are you always in such a rush that you cannot wait for an old man to finish speaking? I said I did not bring any fireworks with me on the ride from Rohan. I did not say I no longer possessed any. Indeed, I've collected one or two such devices during my time since the war ended, and I have stored them in a small crate in my quarters. Now, there are not as many as I would like, of course. It was my custom, when lighting such crackers in the Shire, to really fill the night sky with illumination. That was both for the delight of the hobbits and for my own, if I'm speaking honestly. But perhaps the few crackers I have assembled will still bring some small measure of enjoyment to the attendees of the wedding, Pineleaf. Go to my quarters in the high guest house in the 7th circle and empty the crate of its contents, and I will see what can be done. Aha, so you want every single bit of firecrackers you brought with you to the city to be used for this. I suppose that's quite appropriate. After all, what grander occasion could you have in which to set off fireworks than the wedding of the king, right? Now, let's see. Gandalf has certainly quite nice piece of quarters here. Is this the box he's talking about? Well, I see some dwarf candles, known for their angular shapes and geometric precision. Let's see, what else have we got here? We've got some elf fountains which fall from the sky like gentle shimmering rain. Alright, good. We have some goblin barkers which explode with harsh goblin-like cries. Okay, good. We have some thunderclaps which have previously been mistaken for actual thunderstorms. Alright. And a few assorted squibs from the crate. Well, not impressive, but still important, of course, to add a little sparkle to everything. And a handful of handheld sparklers to be rolled into the crate's corners. Okay, speaking of sparkle, anything else? Well, it's empty now. I suppose that should do for the moment. It's a good thing that what he calls a small display is at least going to be reasonable. I'm back with the fireworks.
I am sorry there were so few fireworks to gather up.
Well, actually, this looks like a pretty impressive amount. You must have never seen one of my fireworks displays before, Pineleaf. These few, though, would have to do. Yes, they would have to do.
But on to other matters.
Yes, some time ago, I observed our friend Gimli walking with one of Roden's companions, a dwarf I know to be called Drawfee Broadshield. I greeted them both, and Gimli responded heartily that he and his friend were going to the Splinter Shield, and they might be some time away. Ooh, I asked them, and Gimli responded that they planned to determine the words Elisar and his bride should use to bind their love during the ceremony. We will not emerge until we have settled upon just the right words for their vows, he proclaimed, and I suspect that he meant it. Perhaps you should go to this tavern and check on the dwarves, Pineleaf. It will not do for Gimli to miss the wedding, and if he keeps his eyes on the ale and not on the sun, he very well might. The Splinter Shield is in the second circle. Ooh. What kind of trouble has Gimli gotten himself into? We'll find that out in the next episode of The Legacy of Durin.